First time I've had a chance to record, vlog anything all day, and it's almost 8 o'clock. This one has joined me again for Office Kitchen Table, and I am finished for the night. Thank goodness. I am now going to eat my ramen, which is a terrible dinner for somebody, especially when they have like blood pressure issues because of all that sodium, but that's what I'm eating because that's what I want. I'm catching up on some Louise, and I'm just gonna call it a night. I've had a lot of to-dos already happening today, so, and a lot of little things I've had to move until tomorrow. I want a pretty sticker to go right there. I just need to find one. Yeah, so that's all I've got for today. I'm just exhausted. I'm sorry. Meh. So it is now 8:45. That still hasn't been done yet. I'm working on it. 8:45, and I'm debating whether I should get into bed right now or I should reorganize the pantry because it's kind of a mess. See up there? Total mess. So I feel like I should probably go ahead and do this rather than to get into bed at 9 o'clock at night because I don't know. I feel like going to bed at 9 o'clock at night is a little too early for somebody who's not, you know, 80 or 6. Feeling much more the thing today. Those are wraps I got out yesterday before I remembered I had sushi for lunch. So I saved them in a little bag so I can eat them for lunch today. Dinner is gonna be this thing. It's the curry vegetable soup, but you do it in the slow cooker. Is that what it's called? It's a slow cooker, right? Right, so you have only 10 minutes of actual prep, and then it simmers and thinks about things and makes your house smell really good for a little over 6 hours. Look how cheap it is in terms of calories, yo. I'm not excited about the amount of cauliflower that's in this, but the potatoes look really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop all that in the slow cooker thing now because I have a call in about 15 minutes. And that's plenty of time to get that done. And then my house will smell amazing. So I have cleaned out the 3rd floor storage closet. And all of this was in that closet. Like, this is amazing how all of this fit in the closet. I am exhausted. So most of this is like memory stuff. Cher made me this clock. Most of this is memory stuff from college or before. And then there are some things that are very useful, like my cleaning stuff. Those are the baskets that I usually go in a lot. And then there are just boxes and boxes and boxes of stuff I've gotten for gifts without having a particular person in mind. Like 3 boxes, I think, of squirrel alpha gammy stuff that I get when I see it and then save it for when I have like treats to give out during recruitment or officers who need a little lift, anything like that. So I've got to pare some of this down or get rid of it or something. Oh my gosh, I don't even know, man. There's also a giant box of Cheetos that's half full. It's overwhelming seeing all of this out here. Some of these things, like this bag and stuff underneath it, and then this, are things that I need to put in proper storage because they're things that Parrish's grandmother, I think, gave him to hang on to. Like there's a tea set and a punch bowl and something else. So I need to get them in proper storage and get them out of these ragtag boxes. But, oh my goodness. This, and then all of this is just kind of overwhelming. I'm wondering if I need to take stuff out of the frames. If they're not antique frames, take stuff out of the frames and take stuff out of these albums and consolidate them down just to make it store better. Like, this is stuff from when I was a junior, I think. A junior in college. So it's a lot of HGH stuff. So I don't even know, man. I don't even know, man. Like, it's just a lot. It's a lot of stuff. Major progress in the giant clean out closet of 2017. I just need boxes for that. Send those away to other people. Boxes for these things. and I'm done. All the boxes are gonna go there and there. So that still leaves me a ton of room. And all 3 of these are empty now. So, yeah, I'm really pleased. It's very visually stimulating to look at that. In other news, my my Paper Panda Sticky Club thing came today. So this is the thing, I prepaid 3 months for it, so I'm getting it for 2 more months, so I'm gonna give it a fair shot. But I gotta tell you, I was really disappointed. 5 sheets. I split, I've already been with my mom and looked over them, but we cut some parts. We cut some bits of parts, and she kept some and I kept some. But only 5 sheets, and none of them are things that I'm really well and truly in love with. Like, I like the ones that don't have any writing on them. I prefer them not to have lines for my style. I like the coffee cups with the bows fine. Like, I mean, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, but I wouldn't have bought them, and at $2 a sheet, essentially, I really wouldn't have bought them. Here are the sheets that I don't have any use for at all. And there are 3 of them. Well, this is where the little coffee cups came from, and Mom took a pink bow. Like, they're cute. They're precious. Somebody will love them, but they're just not for me. So I was really disappointed. So I'm just gonna put these in the pile of things that I'm taking up to the girls at Brunel to see if they want some. And, you know, if they don't like them, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'll figure something out. They won't go to waste, so that's good. So I'm gonna file all of those away in the sticker book or whatever and go from there. But I feel like the majority of the cost of this went into the packaging, because that is a nice little folder. I imagine that was meant for you to keep your stickers in there as like a safety system. So, but it's just gonna get recycled over here. So I'm a little bummed. I definitely won't be renewing, but I'll give it, you know, obviously I've already prepaid. I'll get the 2 other months, you know, and we'll see if it improves or whatever. This could have been just an off month. January's weird anyway, so we'll see. So developments in the great shelving built-in wall thing. I'm gonna have a hole in the sheetrock in 2.5 hours. Dad's coming back when I have a little bit of a break because I had a cancellation, and he's gonna put a hole in the wall, and we're gonna get real measurements and take those real measurements over to the Home Depot and have them cut everything. And that way we don't have to fuss and feather. And then I will have a sample of sheetrock to take to get digitized so I can get some touch-up paint, and I will pull a little piece of the molding off the wall from one of the closets or the garage to have them check that so I can match the trim paint too. I'm very excited. Things are happening, and now I am 2 minutes late for a phone call. Guys, I have caught up on my to-do list for the work. I only have 2 things to do tomorrow along with my 10 calls. But it'll only be a 10-hour day tomorrow, so I will have plenty of time to get these 2 little things done. So very excited, and as a reward to me, I get to prep my first week in February. This is not February at all. This is February. So I get to go over here, and I'm going to pick my washi and my theme and all the things, which is something I normally do on Friday, but I figured as a reward for getting all caught up, I'm gonna go ahead and do it right now. So on Friday, it will not have the distraction, and I can get all of my other things done. Right? Right? Does that make sense? Totally. Also, oh my goodness, updates. New Remus spot, which is really an old spot. I have to unroll the rug and put it on the floor. But I have cleaned up the sheetrock situation, and we have taken down the horizontal supports. The builders put in the horizontal supports of 2x4 studs. Right? Are they 2x4? They're probably 2x4, right? Whatever. The stud parts, they put in the horizontal things to make sure that the studs don't bow. So we can take those down because we're putting shelves in between on both sides, which will do essentially the same thing. But Dad had to grind down some nails that were sticking out. And all of these little dots were where the molding and the baseboard that's going up the stairs, that's where all the little pins, staples were poking through. He did a lot of work, bless his heart. This, they had glued the sheetrock to the stud, which is weird, I think, but whatever. So he had to sand all that down. Like, oh, the poor man, he worked hard. So tomorrow, I am taking a little piece of molding and a little piece of paint from the wall, and I am getting gallons of paint to paint the trim and then to touch up the wall in case I ever have to do that. I figured it's a good time to do it, but I'm gonna love that, I think. I think that's gonna look super pretty in there, all trimmed out and gorgeous and white and whatever. So we gained a little room in terms of the shelf because the shelf can come out this far, out to the edge of the sheetrock because the molding will be right over it like that. So we gained a little bit of room. The beadboard is maybe 1/4 of an inch. It's very skinny, so it won't take up a lot of room. So it'll probably be like that, you know, to there, which is good because that'll fit all the things I need it to fit. I kind of want to hide secret things under there so when the shelves get nailed down and, you know, one day when the house is taken apart by archaeologists in thousands and thousands of years, they'll find random little things in the wall and they'll think I was magic. Meanwhile, the kitchen is looking like this because there's nowhere else to put the things. Yay! Okay, I have selected mawashi for next week. This is sort of a mermaid greeny blue. It's not coming across very well. I'll show it, maybe I'll show it later in daylight. I mean, you'll definitely see it at the end of next week, at the end of the vlog, but whatever. It's sort of a mermaidy blue-green, and then I went with this tiny little gold with little stars, and the stars are kind of clear. They're super thin white, so when they go over the pink lines, it kind of shows through. And then my starter sticker is a nice little succulent terrarium thing. And then I'm gonna start tracking my cups of coffee. So I'm gonna do like a, you know, a hash mark score thing, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm gonna write how I feel when I get up in the morning, because I have noticed when I get up in the morning and I feel skinny, I feel great all day. If I get up in the morning and I'm bloated and I'm disgusting, I feel gross all day long. So I'm gonna start tracking how I feel in the morning and then look at what I ate the day before and see if that makes a difference or how many cups of coffee I had and see if there's a correlation. So I have been tracking what I'm eating for breakfast, lunch, and dinner down at, oh, tragedy. Oh, I didn't do that right. Oh, okay, everything's fine. So this is this week. So this week has this, oh, I love this so much. It's just so sweet. So I've been tracking my breakfast, lunch, and dinner down here. This is the day that I had all the coffee. This is Thursday. And as I have to move things down the week, I'll put a little arrow and then a double arrow if it gets moved again, and then a triple arrow, you know, like it just goes down and down and down. So I'm not terribly fancy, mostly because there's really no room to get fancy because this is really my to-do list. So I'll end up having more space on Sundays and Mondays, because Mondays I'm usually in the office, so everything that I'm doing is actually in my work notebook over there. So it's fine. It's fine. So there it is. So yeah, so that is what's happening, and I'm really excited about it. It makes me feel so much better about the things that I'm getting done. I can actually visually see just how much I'm accomplishing and just how much I'm putting off, which is equally important. And I get to do it in a pretty way, and oh, I do love it. I do love it so. Yay! Step 2 of the in-between stud shelves is nearly complete. I just have to paint these are the shelves. They'll be cut in half, but I just have to paint these the trim color, get a coat on the front and the back, and then I'm done with the painting. But yeah, I'm really excited. The vlog will in fact be up late tonight, but it will be up tonight, I hope, unless I just lose my mind. So there's progress in my in-between the studs shelf system. It appears, hold tight, lots of noise, awkward angles. Here we go. So the beadboard is in, and that took a long time because the studs aren't even or square all the way back. So like what you measured in the front wasn't what was in the back, and it's not the same all the way down. So it was a lot of taking it out and sanding the sides and blah, blah, blah. Like, it was a lot of work. Anyway, so up here, what Pop has done, because remember there were bracers in between here. Up here, Pop has put in a little chunk of 2x4 going vertical right onto the sides on both of these. And then he screwed a piece of an additional 2x4 support into the tops of each. He's done the same thing down here, except for down here it won't be a big old 2x4. It'll just be a piece of the same shelf stuff that's going in. So today we cover the sides of the studs with really thin sheeting. That should be a pain in the neck. I'm looking forward to it. And then we put in the shelf supports, and then the shelves, and then the trim, which will go around to the outside, and then I'll have to paint it again because it's gotten a lot of putting the router on it to get the sanding and stuff done, getting it down to size. It took a lot of wear and tear on it. So I'll paint it again once everything is up. I'll give it another good coat and touch up and whatever, and then it should be done. So I'm not sure if I will put this up or not when it's finished, because it will, I'm not sure. I mean, it'll probably be pretty late tonight when it's finished, and I don't know if I wanna wait the vlog that long. I might just open next week's vlog with the finished project, and that way you have some suspense. I don't know, we'll see what time I get done. Whew. Well, we got as far as we could. There were a couple of political skirmishes, and we have called it quits for the day. Both of us, I think, a little disappointed in the other one's political opinions, but there it is. Right, so when this is done, the trim that goes around the sides will come out that far, and it will cover all of this on this side. And then over here, the shelf will overhang this, so it'll create a nice shadow. The trim here will cover from this edge to this edge, and I'm gonna get little wooden medallions here, glue them on, and then paint over all of it, so it's a pretty finish. But yeah, I'm pretty excited with the way this is turning out. Pretty pleased. And that was my week. Encourage each other with sweetness and light, and I will see you next Sunday.